So, good afternoon again, and welcome back to the channel. This will either be my second video of the day or a video for tomorrow, and this will be the 5 things that we learned from the Burnley versus Arsenal game. So, if you are new here, make sure you are like, sub, and sharing the content around. That will be brilliant. The first thing that we learned is how good Leandro Trossard is. We've seen multiple times this season this guy getting dropped. Well, not drops, but not included in squads. Number one, because Arteta sometimes has just been arrogant, and second of all, that he preferred either Eddie Nketiah or, when he was fit, Gabby Jesus. Now, in my opinion, at the end of last season, when Jesus was fit and he came back into the squad, he was awful since then, and he hasn't really kicked on since that knee injury he had, and he's now injured again because of that same knee. So one thing that we learned from that game is that Leandro Trossard has to play every game from now to the end of the season. You just see how much more fluid he is in his play, how he brings Saka and Martinelli into the game, even Havertz and Odegaard he brings into the game at times. But so yeah, he should be playing every game. The second thing that we learned is that whatever happened in that Dubai international break, Arteta's obviously worked on something to get these players playing now, because if you look at our recent form, we've had a 5-0 win against Palace, for 2-1 win against Nottingham Forest, the win against Liverpool, West Ham, and now the Burnley result. So he's done something there in Dubai. What he's done, I'm not complaining, but if whatever he's doing, I guess just keep doing it, because if we want to win this title, we got to be playing how we are playing now, consistently, and the way we got to keep doing that, I guess. Third thing that we learned is now that we are, I guess, controlling games, because the narrative throughout the season is the reason why we change up the way we play is because we are controlling games, even though we're still conceding chances, we were still not really scoring goals as well. And look, now we're putting teams to the sword, we're barely conceding chances. I think the past 3 games we've conceded 2 shots on target. Obviously the one goal being the error from Saliba against Liverpool at the Emirates. So look, we were scoring goals, conceding hardly anything, and we're just putting teams to the sword. So, we were scoring goals even. That's what I was meant to say. But look, I think this is what you definitely call controlling games. Another thing that we learned is the role of Jacko in this team. Now, I think when he was being put in over Zinchenko, he was trying to be that sort of inverted left back that Zinchenko was trying to be. A game that sort of stands out in particular is that game against Fulham. He wasn't really doing anything. If anything, he was hiding. He was getting caught out defensively. But now he's being played as sort of like a natural sort of defensive left back, and you can definitely tell he looks a lot more comfortable. And we see Ben White getting a lot more forward now. Especially last game, he was brilliant. So was Kivior as well, and I think that whole defensive line, including Declan Rice, if you want to count him, just completely flawless yesterday. And the fifth and last thing that we learned is that making the subs early definitely have benefited us, because we see all the time when we're sort of chasing games, when we're sort of at 0-0, 1-1, we're keeping his players on, we're keeping Bukayo Saka on, burning him out. Yesterday, batter Burnley, took off Saka. That's exactly what we need to do, and that's exactly what we need to keep doing. Obviously, we've got Porto coming up, so it'll be a lot more difficult than the West Ham and Burnley game. But look, Arteta making these subs early recently, especially, has definitely helped. But look, those are the 5 things that we have learned from the game against Burnley. Porto next. I'll try to do this video again, and then obviously for Newcastle, and then whoever we got after that, I think is Sheffield United. So yeah, make sure you like, sub, and sharing the content around, and I'll see you a lot in a bit.